don't have much power on my iPad.
Greetings and salutations to the World Wide Web. You've reached the Meridian March decision meeting. I am the Pen and Herald, Carlos Blanco El Barbero, and with me are it's a wonderful conspiracy of heralds. If you would please introduce yourselves.
I guess I'll start. I'm Ulrich Eisenhand. I am the Cipher Herald, which is internal submissions for Meridies.
I'm Lady Rosamond the Honorable Lady Rosamond Playfair. Still working on that title. And, I'm Herald from the Shire of Drakenmere in Meridies.
My name is Adelaide of Iron Mountain, Herald at Large within Kingdom of Meridies, and one cat with me right now.
I'm Keelan McOlden. I'm from a herald from Thor's Mountain, and this is Arrow, a big dog.
Kaylin, you actually have a title.
Technically, according to Guntram, I am the Attack Herald of Meridies as of now.
Give him the title.
I believe the title imposes no official authority whatsoever.
That's not the one I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, Hammer Herald of
There
Thor's
you
Mountain.
go.
Nice.
Next. Go ahead, Alexander.
Oh, me. I'm Alexander Ravenscroft Steadport. I don't have any offices. I'm just going to say that way.
Yeah, don't sound so happy about it.
And our last herald?
Sylvie, I think that's you.
Oh, okay. I'm Solvig. I'm a heraldic groupie and General Gadfly.
We like you. You can stay here.
All right. So, moving right along.
Where you are, you get to move Meridies. How's that?
Moving right along into our letter. Looking at item number 1, if the class has their Oscar open up, we have Annabella McRae. She wants no major changes, and she has a certain sound that she wants for it. Annabella McRae. Unfortunately, we ran into a conflict with this one, both, I believe, on the device and the name.
Oh dear.
The exact same name.
Yes, the exact same name.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very awesome.
I guess we had
Let's
one
take
herald. We had one herald working with the submitter to get something up new. I spoke with her today and asked. She said she would have something for us tomorrow. I asked what changes she was making so we would be able to discuss them, but she just said to go ahead and pin it. So, yeah,
All she has to do is add a second given name and it should fly through. And then she can simply ignore the second given name for social purposes.
This is true. Algress was saying that if she would just, the submitter may want to consider Annabelle McRae, and that would also help.
It's probably not enough of a change to go from Annabella to Annabelle. It's not really a full syllable difference.
It's changed to one syllable.
No, I'm not sure it actually even counts
But
as a full syllable.
So
It depends on how picky, but
you drop a syllable. Yeah, you actually drop a syllable.
And then we had a conflict with on her device. We had a conflict with Rebecca's Samuel, which hers is Argent, a Sissel Vert, the Bulb Purpur, and Chief 3 stars of David Azure. We only get 1 DC for the change of tincture and the stars, and the Sissel and everything is the same. Again, I would have liked to have known what changes were being made. This conversation was happening right before everything was starting, so that way we could have, whatever changes she was making, we could discuss here. But
if you pinned it, then it can go on to next month's for discussion.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and pin it, and
Yep. Just for because I'm kind of new. Since can you actually pend it since it's going to require completely new forms?
it depends on it depends on, with her having no major changes, it depends on how much she changes her name.
Ooh, yeah.
But
that's the part that's having me a little scary about pinning it this time around, not knowing what's actually changing.
Okay, is that also for the device? Because it looks like the device is going to need to have something added or subtracted or color changed.
Well, the device couldn't go forward without the name anyway. So if the name gets pended, the device has to be pended.
The problem is, though, that the device conflicts, so it can't.
It doesn't return.
But again, if I knew what changes were being made, we could discuss and see whether or not it still conflicts. And device forms on a pin are a little bit easier because all we would need is new artwork. A name changing requires a little bit more work because you got to supply the documentation for everything, depending on how much you changed it. But I'm gonna go ahead and pin this and see if we can't get it back onto April's letter.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
Let it go through. So, all right. So we'll pin number 1, and moving on to number 2.
It is a polypus playing games. The tree.
We have
Anya.
Anya.
In this kingdom allowed to have a polypus, actually.
Say that again.
I think Adelaide is the only one in this kingdom allowed to have a polypus, so this must be returned.
Thank you.
We have Anya Kalinovska. So a nice Russian sounding name, nice Eastern sounding name. This one actually had no comment except for adding some documentation for the last name. So, did anyone see anything that was standing out that we need to discuss?
I did a basic conflict check before we submitted it, but I didn't want to post any comments on that because I figured I'm kind of biased. But I didn't find anything when I was doing a basic conflict check.
Okay.
trying to get it really quickly here. And A. Oh, that's fun. Okay. Let's see what that returns. Better. Search. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of the same that. Oscar gotten too many.
Are you searching on the name or what?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I believe it's the name as long as we've got.
If you guys want to discuss the device while I work on this.
Okay. The blazon needs to have the word Festwise dropped in for the description of the tree.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I would agree with that. Because really the blazon gives no indication on because of the tree, because a tree's natural posture is, you know, straight up and down.
That's fair.
When we say Festwise, do they understand that the top of the tree is on the Dexter?
Yeah, I think that will be the default for Festwise.
Okay.
Third place swords go.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, because really, if you think how the natural mind would think of a tree falling and everything, it would fall to the Dexter.
If anybody is able to do that, I would appreciate somebody posting the announcement or linking it, copying it to something to get over to the SCA Heraldry chat. I'm unable to do that.
I can do it.
Thank you.
Of course, I know. You mean this meeting announcement that was on Heraldry chat on Facebook?
I announced it, but I didn't put the link up. And
I put the link there.
The link was there. That's how I got here.
Oh, excellent.
So, yeah, I got it up there. The only one I didn't put it in was Baby Heralds because I'm not in that group yet.
But I always tell Baby Heralds to go look at the Heraldry SCA chat, so we should be covered.
All right. But yeah, so we'll add. I believe adding Festwise would be a good recommendation for the blazon.
Yeah, SCA Heraldry chat has the correct link.
And the name looks good.
Okay.
Awesome.
Right. So we'll send that one up with the added blazon. Moving right along to item number 3. I believe one of the heralds in here will have a biased opinion on this one. But again, this one came off with no comment.
And the blazon is correct.
Okay, so we have a good
here.
We have a good blazon. It's I don't see any tincture violations or anything.
Oh, the tinctures are fine. You get one for field. The arrow should do it.
It's a default posture for an arrow tip to base.
Yes, that's the default for the arrow.
Has Godolin given permission for this to be submitted yet? Has Godolin given permission for that to be submitted? Because otherwise it has to be returned.
What?
What?
It's been submitted to Kingdom. Why does it have to have permission again?
Because she's the Baroness of his group, and if she doesn't say it's okay, he can't have it.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's how that works now.
I can call her and tell her to say no.
Please don't make my job hard. I like being the good pinning. I don't want to be the mean pinning.
She's a peer, I know her.
Alright. So we don't really have anything for number 3?
No, I'm just yanking somebody's chain because he's been doing such a good job and things shouldn't continue to be that smooth for him.
This is true. Too many smooth roads causes troubles. Okay. So we'll move right along to number 4. The Finn app Mirig?
Biffin at Morig.
That sounds better.
Okay, are we doing the name or the device first? Because the device needs to be reblazoned.
Well, I was going to say name, because that's usually what we do first.
Oh, okay. It looks Welsh.
This is very Welsh.
It did not. I ran conflict checked while you guys were on 3, because hey, name conflict checks. It's clear.
Okay.
Let's see, Apson of is fine. Murig looks like it's fine. Oh.
And this is a name. This is a name change.
Yeah, he's already got the first, but let me hit that real quick just to make sure.
Oh, he's grandfathered for Deafin, so there's no problem.
Right. I'm checking for language though. No results. Awesome. Well, that was 2005.
I wonder what definite language it is, even.
I don't know. Herald, thank you. When your figures do not want to type heraldry, it's a problem.
Deafin sounds like it's UK somewhere, which would be compatible.
It's, it was October 2005.
2005.
Let's look in the lower. Deafin Brit. Name. No comments.
It's British, fine. It's compatible.
Yeah.
So.
It should actually be noted as being British, though, and after 1100.
Now, my question on a name change: if you're keeping part of your old name, can you use that as documentation?
Okay, you're grandfathered, but you cannot just combine it willy-nilly with some other regional group.
Correct.
As long as you stay within the regional linguista, it's okay.
Yes.
Okay.
We do have to note that it is in the UK group and after 1100.
All right. Now moving along to the device.
Okay, the device. Okay, Arson or Raven stooping. It is stooping. And the wings are elevated. They're actually endorsed as well, but anyway. Okay, first of all, I think we probably want to call it as maintaining, but who cares? I mean, grasping is okay, but if you want to say grasping, you probably have to say grasping in its talons or something like that, because it could be grasping in its beak. But anyway, that's an invected chief, not an engrailed chief.
But we also...
And they are Benwise Sinister, not Benwise. The lightning bolts.
Now this was a return.
So I have a question about the stooping aspect. It looks like it was part of the reason it was returned was because non-raptors don't stoop. And the instances he gives for Raven stooping are all previous registrations, 2 of which are pre-Cena. The one that isn't pre-Cena, I wasn't able to find it on Oscar, so I don't know if there was perhaps some documentation attached for it.
And we can't...
Just replace it as striking from stooping, and you'll be okay.
Okay, is that I didn't realize that was a question.
Oh, striking versus...
That basically...
Which number are we on?
We're on 4.
Oh, 4.
So
yeah, in this case, it's a blazon issue. It's certainly... The emblazon is correct. We don't have to be... I mean, there is a correct way of doing it, but we can't return this case because it is...
No. The blazing is always finally done by Reith anyway, but we should try to make the blazon before we set it up.
Are we striking?
True.
Okay, is striking a normally registerable posture? Just so I know for future
It
reference.
should be, yes.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll change it to striking.
Give me a second.
Hi, Chandra.
Because
Hi.
You making money?
my whole worry is I know we cannot use SCA registers as
Correct.
documentation, and so really he's given no documentation for stooping.
Oh, stooping is a very period posture.
But for a raven,
It's a
Yeah, it looks
raven
like
and downward
because
flight.
we said the raven doesn't stoop. But if we call it striking, that would clear it from that problem anyway.
I would okay, since I'm from Calentire and we deal with this all the time. I
birds up
would.
there?
Yeah, that whole bird as our patron animal. I would put it in as stooping. They'll change it if they don't like it. I mean, put it in as what we think it is, and then.
Okay, look. The in 2011, okay, it was 2L striking. So I mean, we are actually using striking as a 2012. In 2012, it was a raven striking. In 2013, we have raven striking. So striking really is a thing with SCA Blazon. Oh, 2015. 2 eagles striking, respected, and achieve 3 sheaves of arrows or. So that is a preferred term at the moment.
Well, striking versus stooping all depends on the aim of the tail. That's the only difference.
Okay, so what's the difference?
The end of the tail.
Literally, the angle of the tail. Yeah. And I'm sorry for my really crappy whatever I'm on my laptop because the video card in my desktop fried.
Oh dear.
And I got a new video card, and I have to replace my power supply because it doesn't have the connector I need.
Maybe your computer is on its last legs.
No, it's just my brother sent me the video card and sent me this really awesome video card, not realizing I didn't have the updated power supply.
Oh dear.
Not a big deal. Hey, free video card, not.
And the only reason why I'm harping a little bit on the stooping is because if you read in the notes for why it was returned, stooping was one of the reasons it was returned.
Well, then just blazon it as striking and let Reef worry about it. It's not a good. Ultimately, the client can simply demand to be set up, but you can't actually ever block things at kingdom level if the client really wants it to go forward.
Give me a second. I just need to find the 2 images I need to look for, and I can tell you which it is.
Oh, okay.
Meanwhile, I have a question.
Tail up is stooping.
I'm going back to the name.
Okay.
A member of Bryn Maddock, who is now a Baron, may never have registered his name, but he goes by Devon ap Murig. It has been spelled in the Meridies order of precedence several different ways, including DYFN space AP space MEURIG. I do not think it's registered because I'm not finding it, but I ask you to look for it because he's used that name for many years.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever registered it.
Right.
And this is the problem when you don't register your stuff.
You have
He used
his
to be a member of
name.
Drakemir, and I guess he didn't register it at the time. I see it listed several different ways, including Devon ap CENNYDD. So he may have changed it, may have registered it that way. I just wanted to double check.
You have his mundane name. I can look up and see if it's the same person.
Don't give his mundane name over the air.
For,
No.
Yeah, I
yes.
can email it to you. It's not coming to me right now because I'm thinking of his nickname. But yeah,
Okay.
I can connect with you on that.
I-N.
Tail up, stooping.
So, okay, so what? So if it's striking, the tail is what? Pointing down or something?
Let me give you. We have two variations of the falcon that we use in Callantyr. One is the classic falcon that actually is striking. Actually, let me screen share for everybody,
Okay.
if it'll let me. Okay, I want that.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that is really awesome.
Let me undo that. Let me fix that. Wow.
We like that.
It's going off to
Gotcha.
infinity and beyond.
It's the Heralds of Infinity.
Okay.
Beyond.
Try that again. Wrong button. Mea culpa.
Kaylin, while she's finding that, the registration from 2014 that's cited, it was registered under the old name that she used, not the new one that they registered at the same time.
Okay, so can you see my screen?
Oh.
Yes.
So
Well,
this
right
is
now,
called
no.
the-
I've seen somebody else entirely at the moment.
click on me.
Where are you hiding?
Her name is Jessica.
If I click on Jessica, what happens? I still don't get anything. Oh, wait a minute. What am I?
Was there any documentation with that 2014 register?
Can you see the chat section?
No.
Yeah, I see the
There it
chat
is. Okay,
section.
let's take a look.
Oh, there's
Okay,
a.
I'll also throw it in the chat section. Give me a second. So this version is a striking falcon. The first one, the outline.
That guy is tail up or something.
No, compare it to the second one here, which is a stooping falcon.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah,
That's
okay. Yeah.
There is a very visual difference.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
tail. Because a stooping falcon is when they're going from the sky down to the earth. The striking falcon is literally the split second where it throws its tail down to stop to get the
And the
critter.
claws come out.
Yep.
Yeah, I get that.
So in that case, this is definitely a stooping raven by picturing.
But in any case, it should still be allowed. So just leave it as stooping. Okay. In any case, the chief is infected. It's not engrailed. And the lightnings are bedwise sinister. Not bedwise, or bedwise sinister. So there's some fussing there.
I mean, as far as I can tell, he's fixed everything that it was returned for, except for the stooping.
But people. I don't think there's a problem with it stooping.
But the return specifically states that the stooping is a problem.
And that was returned at Kingdom. It was not returned at Laurel.
Right. So
Yes.
it just needs to go
Okay, I
forward
see.
at this point.
I see. Okay. So yeah, maybe Laurel wouldn't have a problem then.
Laurel might not have a
We'll
problem.
find out.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
okay.
why they get paid the big bucks.
And here is Reese, who is deciding to help tonight.
Yay.
Oh,
My two have already made their appearances, so.
And if you look here, I have a Lily,
Ah.
Aw.
the one who never makes her appearance, ever. Yeah, they like
And
when
I'm
on.
I'm getting a little insight to our little submission from another herald. So give me 1 second.
Fine, Falcon Stoop also. That's on
Yeah.
that's on October 20.
Oh, yeah.
October 14.
They've been stooping since 1980 something.
Well, you know, the point is whether this falcon is stooping or striking. If it's definitely doing one or the other, there's no problem because they're both allowed at the moment.
Well, it's not a falcon; it's a raven. But I think Laurel will take care of it.
Okay,
Yeah, well-
it's a raven. I think ravens are allowed to both stoop and strike.
Well,
So-
it's not a raven, so. Or
Well,
it's not a
whatever.
falcon.
It is a raven. Or whatever. It's a blackbird.
Well, he has fixed enough of the general problem that we could send it up to a higher pay grade and
For that ruling.
for that ruling. So
I mean, they may not like the way that the bird is holding the flower. That would, I mean, that I'm not sure whether or not it's the way it's holding the flower works or not.
Isn't it a horn, a hunting horn?
It's a horn. It's a hunting horn.
Oh, am I right? Am I on the right guy? No, that's a different piece of armory. I'm on the wrong page. Guild hangouts.
But yes, I would concur that enough fixes have been made that that what we're discussing is so tiny that it's above our pay grade.
okay, so we'll go ahead and send it up. But Salvi, you were saying that we should say that they are Ben Sinister.
Yes, they're Ben White Sinister, and the chief is infected, not engrailed. Infecting and engrailing is tricky because if you look at it, it looks like it's a cup. But the point is, it's done with respect to whatever is being infected and engrailed, not the field.
Yeah.
So it's actually infected, not engrailed.
All right. So we'll make those changes and we'll send it up where everything can be good.
Okay.
All right. Moving up to number 5, we have another Gaelic name.
Yes, and this time they're doing Irish.
So we've got Deidre,
Scots, whatever. In any case, it's the same.
Inya, and I can't say that last. I'm horrible with names. I get out there and yell people's names, and I can't do this.
Thuni or something.
A toonie.
So.
Okay.
Nobody really had anything on the name.
Okay, they're using the same source for all their stuff, and it's a good source, so it should be okay that way, as long as...
And conflict was good. It was clear.
But what we were having problems with is the device.
The device has problems.
Yeah, it looks like it's...
As far as I remember hearing, we don't... as far as registering the device, on the form we do not use Celtic artwork.
Precisely. So it has to be redrawn or returned, one or the other.
I will probably.
I asked for a redraw. I have not received one. So.
Do you think if you pinned it, you would get it before the next one?
Well, you could actually separate the name off and send it forward and pin the device.
Yeah, pin the device, wait for the redraw.
But send the name up because there's
I'm
no
gonna
reason.
I'm gonna send the name up. I'll get in touch with the submitter for another draw and let them know. Hey, once your device has passed, if you want to draw it Celtic wise, you could do that. But as far as registering it, we don't register Celtic artwork.
Correct.
So,
Also, the fish should look more definitely like a fish. It looks like a root by the way they drew it. So if they want it to look like a fish, if they want it to be a fish, they have to.
Oh, I didn't even notice the
I
fish.
didn't even notice the fish.
yeah, well, when you
Well, it counts the difference, so it's important.
when you blow it, and again, it might be a Celtic drawn fish, but you know, I could tell that it was a fish. We don't have a.
It looks like a root
recognizability.
to me.
Yeah, we don't have a. Yeah.
Does the fish have to have contrast with the peacock or just the field?
Just the field.
Just the field, I think.
Okay. I would recommend making the fish ore, since they have to redraw it anyways for identifiability. But
Yeah.
But even redrawing it as or, it needs to be drawn more clearly as a fish. It really has to be
it looks
clearly a
like-
fishy
it-
fish.
It looks like they continued the Celtic scene down to the fish. So it's just a matter of it. It's correct. Does anyone see any conflicts or anything for it?
Oh, we could chug through a conflict check on it.
The closest Terran found was Sable and Owl Argent, and
That's
but
not close at all.
That's two different primaries.
Yeah.
So,
Owls are often a different group of birdies entirely. So
yeah,
they-
and I didn't find anything when I searched. Yeah, there was Sable, a Heron Close Argent, and a Chief Ermine, but then you get the DCs for the Chief and the Ermine.
Yeah.
and you get a difference for the fish too. Remember, it's just maintain charges count for difference these days.
Yeah, it's the secondary now. So
Is that new per Cena?
It's post Cena. It was a rule
Yeah.
change.
Okay.
It's in the
So-
press and it was in a cover letter.
Yeah, within the past 2 months, I think.
No, more than that. It's been around
More
for
than
some
that,
time now.
Probably 3 or 4 then.
All right. So
It's recent enough that we still have to remind each other about it.
yeah, because I just recently told somebody that maintaining charges didn't, and I'm now
No,
learning.
maintain charges account for difference nowadays. Period.
So, okay.
yeah. And I've actually got a test case up right now.
So, so we'll send the name, ask for a redraw on the device, and hopefully if they get it to me in time.
When they get it passed, they can draw it all any way they want to,
Yeah.
as long as it sort of
If they
is
get it,
what it is they are calling it.
if they can get me the new artwork and everything, I can go ahead and send it up with the name.
Right.
So, okay, moving on to
Moving
number
right along.
6.
Number 6.
Edric Warren. A new name and new device.
Oh my.
Yeah, that's all.
Does this run afoul of the critters inverted?
No, they're an annulo, so that's actually okay.
Can you do annulo with 2 critters?
That's the question. Usually people want at least 3.
Reese? No.
Tara, this is a thing that happened from Gulf Wars last year. Thought he had a name, turned out he didn't have a name.
I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead to the device.
It's fine. It's fine. And I'm somewhat talking about the device too.
Reese, leave it.
On
Naughty kitten.
that one, they are inverted in a different. They are in annual in a different posture.
yeah.
The heads were to Dexter and Sinister instead of to Base and the Chief, and they were drawn more in a circle than what they are here. I don't really see an annulo here. I see an one right side up, one upside down.
Well, that we probably would not be able to do.
Yeah, I think the issue is that even if it was in annulo, you couldn't tell if it was both of them fest-wise or both of them pale-wise. You know what I mean? Like the previous submission or like submissions.
Okay,
It's hard to
if we cannot place them as an annual, then we get unity of posture reason to return the thing. It has to have unity of posture and orientation.
Well, it's not really unity of posture. It's the critters inverted thing is what it gets it.
Right, but it's the same rule in Cena. It's one rule in Cena, X group in Cena, and it is not. If they cannot, they have to be blazoned independently, then we have to return it.
Yeah, because there's really no way to draw them where they look like they are in Annulo.
Well, you could if you didn't have the curlicue in the tail and you bent the tail completely around, but that's still futzing.
And even if you did that, the term in Annulo wouldn't be able to describe whether the heads were up and down or side to side.
At that point, it really
and I'm
wouldn't
just
matter.
looking at the device we're looking at now, and I'm just now catching it because I'm still on to the old device. It's listed as a sea lion embowed and a sea lion embowed inverted.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, let's see. In '97, when they were doing 2 natural dolphins in Annulo. So but 2003 they were doing dolphins.
but
2/3. Oh, that's 5.
If you did them quote unquote combatant, it would be a much better device.
Yes, it would be.
Nice.
yeah, I don't think there's a way we could reblazon this or fix it to where it would fit was in Cena.
If you did combat, you'd have to change the journey too.
Yeah, we need new artwork too.
Yeah. Because you want to make sure both heads were on blue sections.
That wouldn't be as critical because they'd still be easily identifiable.
Okay, let's see. In 2013, goals between 2 new Turgent and Annual around the Roundel Argent. So we could do it with newts in 2013.
And Taryn also suggested Matric, Gynery, Arundi, or in Azure, two sea lions, argent-tailed, sable, Hurrient. And he gave an example, and it's two fishies, one on its tail, one on its face.
Yeah, but look which way the backs of the fish are. They're pointed the same direction versus the opposite directions.
I don't know. The only way of placing this thing is, if it's going to go through it all, is the inannual trick. That's the only possibility. And I suppose if they redrew it,
They've already
to make it more carefully the case.
You can link where Taryn said they had drawn it before. It was much easier to understand in that picture, but they submitted it before they submitted a name, so it wasn't usable.
Right.
But in any case, there is a registration from just 3 years ago of two new Turgent and Annual. So I mean, it is possible.
What's the name attached to that?
Baldric of Newty of Baldric BALDRIC of Newty NEWTE space LEEZ.
Because I want to see their art.
Was there a problem with doing the urinate hurrient thing? Is it because it only applies to fish, or that would actually match this pretty good?
they're not technically facing the same direction.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Here is the art for the Baldric of Newt Leeds. I put it in chat. They are definitely embowed. But they're also turgid, which is a whole different kettle of fish.
Pun intended.
And I was just sent something, David of Clayton. The following device associated with this name was registered in November 2004 via Artemisia. Sable, in Ben Sinister, a cross forming between a scorpion embowed Benwise and a scorpion embowed inverted Festwise Argent. And another name, Eljarn the Thoughtful, also from Elsamark, quarterly azure and argent in annulo, a mermaid embowed and a merman embowed inverted counterchanged.
Yeah, I know
I
Elshar.
hope you're.
Those were both post-Cena.
No, they were pre-Cena.
Yeah, well, you could always, since we're having such a discussion on how to do it, you can always throw it up and see what they think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and do that. Thank you. No, that's not what I want. I want to go to Oscar.
I would suggest, though, actually calling it in annulo, though. So, that seems to be the trend.
They'll change it to whatever they want to change it.
True. That's true. I don't want to change it.
All right, so
And the name is good, conflict-wise, by the way.
okay, so
It violates the rules and it's an automatic return.
I'll just add a note that we had a question about the posture of the animals. All right, so moving along to number 7. Eldest Kilpatrick. It's a new name and a device. The device is Azure on a Benwise Sinister Sable between a Sissel Proper and a Dragonfly Sable for Escallops Benwise Sinister Ore.
Oh my word! Those scales, incidentally, are.
Can we go to the name first?
Let's get the name out of the way because
okay.
The device already has several problems that are just leaping out at it.
Oh yeah, you can't do green on blue.
So
yeah, name.
So let's go on with the name.
Ellen.
Yeah, have to know.
Someone. This is someone using a low R for registration, which we don't do. Ogress found.
Looks like he.
Similars.
Yeah, she said Highland Scott.
Mm-hmm.
So my understanding, the Ogress comment that the Elid is maybe a grandfathered name because there's no documentation for it, and it was registered as an alternate.
It could be a mundane name allowance.
Let me pull it up in Oscar and see what it says.
Okay.
Yeah,
Since
no,
it's
it
new
looks
enough.
Wow.
It looks like another one is her. She's just using somebody else's documentation.
Yeah, she's doing the. It's been registered before. That means I can register it.
You can't do
Which
that.
is,
You're
I
not
was taught that at the first worst point I was at, so
You can steal
there's
from
still
Oscar.
Harold doing that.
Okay, so
Just saying.
So looking at the registration for this, yeah, it was just registering an alternate name. So there is absolutely no documentation for the name listed. Let me go into the O&A and see when the original name was listed.
Well, if it was an alternate name, then it should still be an Oscar.
Okay. Well, the alternate name they were registering was Clarice Savior. Not
Oh.
the original name was registered in '85.
Yeah, not an Oscar.
Okay.
No.
That's a long time before Oscar.
So useless for our purposes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
We are number 7, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's a shame.
Oh.
Yep.
There's submitted documentation.
Check any of the boxes?
Alice probably looks like she did it for them.
Okay. Where is it?
Did they check any of the boxes of Doom? Because
No, they did not, thankfully.
it looks like
Then it could be
Hogan
fixed.
is for Ellen, which is what they wanted.
And they wanted Highland Scott, which is Gaelic, right?
Ogress went for similar sounding-ish, I believe.
I mean, she
Or give the name to be appropriate variant of Ellen. That's up at the meaning, up at the top. So she went with Ellen. Elida, or however you say it, is on the current list of problem names and naming practices topics on medieval Scotland. Last updated in 2004. And that's the only result Merciless had for it.
Well,
So
It's not in Family Search.
they shouldn't have put it down as meaning of Ellen because Ellen is not a meaning. They probably actually means something that sounds kind of sort of similar to Ellen is what they really want.
Yeah.
Well, they're not coming from a heraldic background, so.
I mean, it seems to me that they could easily get away with Elline circa 1300, and then the Kilpatrick dated to 1455.
Well, the 1300 looks like ELYNE. That's Ellen.
Right, but
since it's
that's what
such
they want, right?
a major change, I would maybe pend this.
Yeah, I'm looking at
and talk to her and giving her options.
Yeah, and letting her know that we can't use previous, just because of previous registering. You know, we can go back and find a name and pull the documentation off of the name, but just because the name exists in the SCA does not mean that you can use it for documentation.
Especially from 1985.
The only thing we can use registrations, only documentation we can use registrations for is basically the grandfather clause.
Right.
That's the only thing we can use previous registration for.
Well, no, what he's saying is that the documentation is so good we could.
We can lift documentation from Oscar, but we cannot lift registration as documentation.
Right.
Right. I was only saying when you go to talk to the whoever talks to the submitter, suggest the Elline Kilpatrick here, because I mean the documentation is right there and it looks like exactly what she wants when you look at what she desires.
Yeah. So I'm gonna copy all this out and send it into an email for her. Now with the device is definitely a return.
Yeah, it needs major.
We have just a major tincture violation here.
I think if she just if she changes the dragonfly and the thistle to or that'd be fine, wouldn't it?
Actually, just changing the field to or would fix it.
Actually, yeah, you got to change the field. I forgot about the sable. And
yeah.
But it's something Carlos is going to have to contact her about, or else just return it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alexander, I sent you an email about that previous name.
Yeah, he's got a couple of them. I'll bet you anything that he's never submitted it, because I could get you a call. I could call down there. Although it's a bit late because it's after 9, but I don't think he's ever submitted that name.
And I'm thinking a return at this point in the game is probably going to be a little bit easier for the device, because with them having to change the field, we're going to have to go through conflict check all over again. And so,
Incidentally, just as a blazing note, those are scallops are Benwise. They're not Benwise Sinister. Just a note.
okay.
Yeah.
So moving right along to number 8.
On it and find what guess what she wants.
Oh, more Celtic artwork. Let's see.
I don't think this is Celtic.
No,
I think
you
it's
don't
just
think
a
Not
it's
a
just a
raven.
drawing.
It's not fuzzy enough to be a raven, though.
Yeah.
it's not heraldic style art, though.
I was a little worried that the harp was a little too small to be identifiable.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yes, it is.
But we've also got a household name in here, so let's tackle it first.
Sure.
Okay, House of the White Raven. The should probably go away.
Why?
What?
Oh. Because okay, we have to maybe it's okay. Basically, it's probably wants to be done as an inside name.
Yes.
Let's see. Okay, so I suppose that's okay.
Side note: is her name pronounced Flanate or Lanai?
Flaunt it.
Flaunt it. If you've got it, flaunt it.
Oh my word!
That's actually how she says it too.
Wow.
Or you can address her as Sparky.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Wow.
When I send it up, though, I'm going to fix it so Oscar finds the name.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Guntram, are you going to Coronation?
Yes, I am.
Okay, we've got jobs for you.
Which side?
You getting a camera would be good. Taking a video camera.
I don't know if I can commit to that. I'll talk to you about it.
Okay.
So seeing that there's not really any issue with the name, we'll jump back into the device.
Yeah, there's no conflict, so.
There's no conflict, but again, we're bringing up heraldic style. Is it
On the
heraldic?
name.
The name's fine.
I do name conflict. I don't do armory conflict. I've tried. It fails.
But this is one of those that it's not a bird of prey, obviously. I mean, there's a very small amount of things it could be, and it's close enough that, I'm not comfortable returning style issues unless they're, hugely
Out of this
blatant.
world, yeah.
Well, I don't think as drawn that this badge works. For I think they're small and there's too small. This guy, I agree that the harp is way too small to be identifiable, and really the bird needs to be drawn as a recognizable heraldic bird.
Okay. As far as conflict goes, the closest I could find was fieldless impale, a falcon rising, sustaining a harp oar.
That's not even close.
That's,
Yeah. I mean, it's just the falcon's a different color, so.
And you get one for the field, so
Yeah.
there's not a conflict.
I do think the harp is a bit small, but I think that might be above pay grade or whatever. I don't know.
It would at least be an artist note sending it up that the heart, because it's big enough where you can see the heart. You can see that it is something in the bird's mouth. It's just not big enough to see that it's a heart.
Exactly. Yeah, because I'm if I hold the screen way back, it's kind of looks like an acorn or something maybe.
Yeah.
Right, but I still have problems with the bird itself.
Yeah,
Birds have to be recognizable enough to know what group they're in. I guess maybe it's a regular shaped bird, but other than that,
not our pay grade.
Yeah.
It's close enough that
it's at least better off than the peacock was.
well, that's true.
Yeah.
The peacock was really off the board.
Yeah.
Are we returning the peacocks?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Because
Or at least I'm asking for a redraw. No.
that wasn't Tony submitting anything
No.
back.
No, it's
It
not.
was somebody else.
Yes.
Blackfield, someone else.
Yeah.
What was the question?
We just wanted to make sure the peacock was not Tony's.
Yeah. No, the peacock is not. The peacock is not Tony's.
No,
I'm
she
getting
got
a,
Tony's submitting.
yeah. On that one, I'm gonna get a redraw. Moving on to her second badge.
Oh, she's got two, which is special.
That one again, we're gonna fix the name so Oscar recognizes it.
The first one was with the household. This one is a person.
Oh, personal.
Oh, isn't it? Just a note about White Raven. There is actually a registration of somebody named Thorgrim White Raven. Just
not.
but I don't think that should cause a problem.
Conflict.
Yeah. So filled with
there's
a
a
mask
number
of filled with a mask of tragedy and a mask of comedy. Ben Wise per conjoined to a sewing needle, pale wise argent threaded vert. And these are based off of her own arms.
Correct.
So,
Right, but they still have to obey today's rules.
This hits barely overall for me.
Oh, there's no. Oh my word. No, this is.
Can someone post a link to an image of her arms?
We're
Yes.
working on it.
It's at
Okay,
the,
thank you.
at the Beaufort webpage. It's up there.
Ah.
That won't help the Kalantari.
All right. Well, I'll find it. This I can be helpful on. This one I know.
Yeah, because if you're like me, you end up with South Carolina as a result.
What?
There's a Beaufort, South
I-
Carolina.
Okay,
I
it looks like
think
she
this is-
has the motif registered exactly. Just a second. Reese, get down!
You need to get a spray bottle of water.
How recently is her device registration?
That doesn't matter.
Well,
I mean, because the motif, do we grandfather clause motifs?
no.
Well, it's
Sometimes.
Because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
an exact motif from her device.
Well, wouldn't we have to? Because if she chose to turn it into a badge because she chose a new device.
But that's not a new registration. That's just simply an administrative reclassification.
Ah, okay.
right, I don't think she's doing that.
Yeah.
This is actually a new registration. It has to follow today's stuff.
I would send it up making a note that this is the exact motif on her device registered in X.
Well, when did she register it?
2000.
It's getting kind of old. It really I don't think that the prior registration counts at this point.
And also, can you have a badge that is your exact device?
It's not her
it's
exact
not the
device.
exact- It's a fieldless version of.
Well, Yeah, here. Let me copy the blazon and put it in chat. The blazon is argent on a bend vert between two pairs of theatrical masks conjoined in bend purpure, a needle threaded argent.
Okay, all right.
So
So there-
literally, she's got two of these motifs on her device.
For what it's worth, I can't find conflict with anything.
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and send it up.
Yeah, but I would specifically mention this is a motif from her registered device.
Okay.
I don't think that's relevant, but go ahead and mention it.
It certainly doesn't hurt. There's a white raven, by the way.
I think that this is yet another example where we're really stretching the idea of conjoined. Although we've been passing things where have been actually conjoined at a single point. I think the whole conjoined rule should go away for fieldless matches. That's a whole other matter.
So
Number 10.
Not our call.
Step back.
moving on to number 10.
Can we step back?
Who said
Can
that?
we step back?
Stepping back too.
Okay.
I did. There's a house, White Raven, registered by a volunteer.
Uh-oh.
House
Oh.
White Raven.
1988.
Then that's that would that's
That would
that's a
conflict.
Yeah, ouch.
Link to, or at least a picture of it. So. Branwyn Whitehaven is the owner. Branwyn White Raven, I mean.
Oh, wait, so she does not. So it isn't the exact motif. Never mind. I retract that statement.
I found Flonnet's thing, posted it in chat for those that aren't familiar with her armory.
I just found it. Sorry, because they changed the Beaufort one, and I probably
I couldn't find her on that site at all, so I just went to Facebook.
that was the same one I was copying. She's out of town, but I'm sure if I have to.
Does it make a difference that White Raven here is a...
One word as opposed to two words. Probably those would be considered a conflict.
Yeah, we're talking here that
Yeah.
you're talking about the only difference is the space between them, and you can't hear that
Yeah.
space when you say it.
And house, yeah, it's a conflict. It's a direct conflict.
Okay. So, name...
Conflicts with House White Raven.
Mm-hmm. Because technically, House of the doesn't mean anything. It's.
Uh-uh.
Yeah. The prepositions don't count.
Yep.
Unlike they do
It's
in personal names.
It's really kind of a nice idea.
Well, there's a White Raven in the Gorman Gas series if you really want to put yourself through reading all of those, and I don't recommend it. I tried, and quite frankly, it is so onerous. It's like reading Russian without all the fun.
That's saying a hell of a lot.
All right.
Oh, come on. Russian literature. Russians are like Americans. They got to do everything with weight.
All right. I hate that we found a conflict, but that's all right.
She's going to fire you now.
So.
If anything, we can work it all out over, at Gnome World. So.
Yeah. All right.
No, I mean, you can't even get a permission to conflict with that one.
Yeah.
No, but work out what to do.
Yeah. All right. So moving on moving back on to number 10. Jill's Grim.
We're doing the name first at the moment.
Yes, name first.
They
want no major changes.
Perth. That's Australia. Well, anyway.
It was
Is this the Thor's Mountain?
though.
Yeah, this is for our current Senesaul. I may or may not have
Tell
her
her
wrap get stuff in.
it's about flipping time she submitted something.
Yeah, I believe Wu helped her on the documentation for the name.
The name looks good to me.
Yeah, so it's, basically Alice took care of it. Okay, salt and advice. Oh, did anybody conflict check the name?
Working on that real quick here.
Looks like Giles Green is the closest.
No, then they're fine.
Yeah, I can.
I have a hyper kitten.
I can add the link to DOST.
Yeah.
And it'll be
Yeah,
good.
basically copy Alice's documentation so she doesn't have to type it in again.
Mm-hmm.
I just gotta do that one. Yeah, name's good.
Yeah. All right. So we'll send it up, adding the links.
Yeah, that'll be good. The device has problems, possibly. At least the blazon is wrong.
Yeah, it's a little wonky.
The snail and the tree have to be co-primary, I suppose, and people may even argue that the loop around the tree is really the primary in chief and not the snail. I mean,
Yeah, the way I was looking at it when we drew it up is that perhaps we could go with the loop is primary and the snail and tree are both secondaries.
no. The problem
Kind
is
of a long shot.
that would be a real long shot because the loop should really be centered. The snail is definitely not primary because it's all primary because it's completely above the fest line. And people are going. There's going to be a chance that this will go boing and boing if people throw all three in the same charge group. Because it's really hard to argue that these guys really belong in separate charge groups from each other.
I would concur.
Yeah, if the snail and the tree were just shrunk like a little bit, like we got to redraw for them.
And the loop should be centered to be clearly the primary.
Okay.
All right.
Could we pen that for redraw? Or would we have to do a motion for that? Because I mean, all it is would be shrinking the snail and the tree a little bit and moving the loop down.
I don't think we can get this in a registerable form.
Yeah,
No.
I think they're going to have a very hard time shrinking the tree and maintaining their current arrangement of stuff. Because the loop in the snail needs to be moved towards the center of the field.
Right, but if you shrink the tree, you get room to move that down.
Then you start getting into unidentifiability because you have to shrink so much.
Yeah, and any other way you try to do it, you start to run into maybe slot machine.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we'll return the device.
It would be interesting just for philosophical purposes to figure out why the rope is important.
It's probably because of she shows a lot of like stitching and embroidery and stuff. Her husband's the next one, and he's got loops and knots too.
Mm-hmm.
Originally, she had a much more complicated knot, and she really wanted to have like the snail within the knot or something like that.
Is this one of yours?
Yeah,
I helped her with the device.
If she likes the rope so much, why don't you have her do an oral of rope? It's been done before, and it would be very ropey. And then you can have your snail and your tree the co-primary, each occupying their own half of the field with the fence line in between.
That would be a really good idea.
Another thing would be a bend wreath.
Yes, that too.
It looks like a section of the rope just across the.
That's probably a bend or a fess wreath is probably really good. I didn't realize that was a thing you could do until about 2 weeks after we submitted this. So, yeah.
So she has options to keep the same motif.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, she can keep all 3 thingies, but they need to be rearranged significantly.
Yep, can do.
All right. Well, Kayla, why don't we do this? Get on the horn with him tomorrow. And since are they local to you? I mean.
Oh yeah, they're down the street, basically.
Get on the horn with them tomorrow, and then get on the horn with me. You can find me through Facebook, and we'll see what we can do, and either maybe not return it if you can find something suitable, because we have how many more days are left in this month? 8.
Yeah.
I think you need to return and separate them out.
Yeah.
Because it's not a redraw, it's a redesign.
Yeah, it really is a redesign. I'm actually still partial to, well, because I thought of it, of course, but of doing the oral of rope and put the snail.
Well, that's the client's choice.
I know
at this point, so.
Well, since
when you make recommendations.
And you're right, it is more of a redesign than it is a redraw, so yeah, we'll go ahead and just return it. All right, moving on to number 11 then.
Number 11. Okay, so did anybody check to make sure that's an acceptable knot? Oh, well, the name first.
A note on the name. The documentation has Guillaume spelled Guillaume. I have it Uame because that's how it was on the form. I asked him about it at Meridian Challenge of Arms. He said he was going to get back to me. I never actually heard back from him.
Okay, so right now we have a name that's not matching the documentation.
That's
Give me a sec. I bet I can fix it.
That's probably good. Isn't this Gillis' husband?
This is Gillis' husband.
That's Gillis' husband.
Okay, is the spelling on the form the spelling the client prefers?
We do not know.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
The spelling that he has, that he told me he preferred, which is on his blue card, is IAME.
Then put that down because we
also does not match the documentation.
IAME?
GUILLIAME.
Okay, put that on the form, right? Because one thing that Juliana really rubbed into me is always send up, at least in the notes, what the client originally wanted. And if it's on their blue card, we can assume that's what the client really wants.
I looked up the documentation. There's AME and there's AUME from that source.
Okay, are French and Dutch compatible?
Yes.
Okay.
Good thought.
Because I can find GUILLIAME in the Netherlands.
Wow.
All right.
There you have it.
Let me see how early I can get that. Elliot.
All right, I just sent him a Facebook message to see if maybe he's up and willing to.
Yeah, so that way we can hear through his herald. Hey, hey, yeah, no, the form is messed up.
Yeah, you'd have to find
Actually,
Lou
I can get it through Belgium, which is French speaking, so that's even better. Here's the link for Family Search.
You're so clever.
So did you
Stunt
type?
documentation is what I do.
Okay, so for when you did this, the family search, did you use the spelling that's on his blue card, or the form, or the header form, or the documentation?
The blue card, because it's with an IA.
Okay, yeah.
I can do all of them.
Well, okay.
Actually.
But the problem is, the problem that we do run into though is that he's got no major changes clicked.
Oh.
Spelling is not a major change.
Spelling changes are not major.
Spelling is a minor change.
Okay.
And no matter which way it's spelled,
It still sounds the same.
and he's good.
Yeah. His major change is adding or deleting a word.
Or if you.
Reese, no. Leave
And
it.
besides, Guillaume is not that tied up with it. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right. What we'll do is I'll use the family search.
As a precaution, I went and sent Ginger a message too in case Bill's sitting right next to her.
Good.
So we'll know. I don't think we'll have a problem, but we'll know shortly. I hope.
Thank you, Triple.
But yeah, we'll go ahead and use the family search and use it with the I until we hear back from them and find out whether or not the form was actually messed up. If the form wasn't actually messed up, if the form was actually messed up and it's supposed to be AU instead of UM, then the documentation that he's provided is good.
Right. Okay. One thing that can happen during a consult is somebody can simply not have.
Well, we'll ask the client. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Ask the client what their heart spelling would be.
Yeah. Until then, I'll just use the.
Use the family search.
Yes. Yeah. I'll use the family search. All right. With the device, Azure, a sewing needle argent between two wake knots, pairwise or.
Okay, so the question first is, are these one on the knot list?
Well,
I believe so. I think I got them off the list.
Allowed, as far as I know. I remember seeing at least one at Harold's Point at Gulf Wars a couple of weeks ago.
This looks like a simple enough knot. There probably is
Yeah.
one of the knots that's allowed, but there's only a short
Sorry,
list of
come back.
knots.
Sorry, come back to the name. Can someone spell the family search name for me?
GUILLIAME.
I have a kitten who is deciding to be awfully naughty this evening.
All right. I got Ginger to respond. So, all right, you can go back to the device now.
All right.
Chandra, you need to get.
But I believe I got those wake knots up in this phone.
Problem is when she's playing around the electronics, it's a little more difficult.
You think you got them off of Miss Home?
I'm trying to pull up Mist Home, but mine's spinning.
We have Wake Knots on page 343 on Pensic Traceable Art Edition 3.0.
Yeah, but that's not. That's
not
good.
current, I understand.
Good, but it's. That's how I mean it's not.
Wiki spaces. Let's see if this one works.
Yeah, Miss Phone's having a hard time coming up.
Yeah. Wake Knot.
Wake knots have a regular cross-reference?
No, I'm on Wiki Spaces. On Sophia's site.
I don't think there's a problem with wake knots. There was one registered in 91.
Okay, and are these pale-wise or not? They might be pale-wise.
They'll fix that.
Okay, I got a confirmation for the name. Ginger says go ahead and use the one in the documentation. That would be EU. Yeah, the AU.
Okay, the AU switched. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wake Knot is a good knot.
Okay, and then are these pale-wise or not? Just out of curiosity.
They're fest-wise in the traceable art, but again, that's the 3.0 edition.
which is actually the one that's on the website that none of us can get loaded right this half a second.
It's what I pulled
Frustrating.
out.
Okay, so yours
Oh
is
wow,
actually
yeah,
working.
gateway timeout.
Yeah,
Yeah, Miss Home is down.
down.
This
Yeah,
phone is down.
Somebody should ping Master Bruce.
This
on
is
Facebook.
Let me
Yeah,
actually just check
2014
Carol to chat
passes.
first.
But it's definitely Festwise.
That's easy to fix. You just drop it into the blazon. Oh, wait a minute. There are these. There's a pale lines. I mean, in Mr. Guillaume, or however you want to pronounce his name.
Guillaume.
Guillaume. It's some version of Bill.
That time he registered too.
Let's see.
I think he does blazon it correctly in saying 2 wake knots pale-wise. That
Yeah,
is,
because I think that wake knots in their default position go fat this way.
they go Festwise.
Fat this way.
Yeah, most knots that I see seem to be Festwise. I don't see many going up and down. Most of them are left to right.
But he says
found
pale-wise. That's
So we would have to turn it to pale-wise in order to get it going up and down.
Right.
he says that, right?
And he puts it in there, which is good.
Yeah.
What we're saying is that the blazon is right, I think.
That was a lot longer than I thought it was.
And it's in the, and that knot's in the Pensic traceable art.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
So Bruce is now. We can. That's good enough.
yeah, the
I
device.
found the misfilm image, but it doesn't. I can't get to the site. The image is Festwise though, so
Alright.
I assume pairwise is necessary.
Yeah. So the device is good. All right. So we'll change.
Okay.
We'll switch the A and the U. So use the documentation given per the submitter's request, and we'll send up the device.
Yay.
Moving on to 12. Guinevere. When?
Guinevere.
Guinevere.
Mm-hmm. That's one of many.
As well. It's got extra letters that are act like vowels. These other consonants.
So we have it's a feminine name. No major changes. Sound is most important. Again, we have no comments.
Question, would it conflict with that last name that is listed under possible conflicts from 94?
Oh.
Ewan.
Maybe.
Mewin.
Maybe.
I would feel more
don't know
comfortable.
enough about Welsh, the pronunciation of Welsh names to know how similar those two sound.
The V and the F.
I think it would be a return above
Neither do
our
well.
It looks like they're different enough to me. It looks like more than a change in a syllable and a letter. So
Yeah, because we're going to a moi to a from a vin.
Okay.
So
I mean, it's a Yuan versus a Mivan is
Yeah.
how it looks to me. And
Yeah.
those should be different from each other.
all right. So will you see any other possible conflicts?
Working on it. Almost there. Yay for coding. Da-da-da. Guinevere McEwen, Guinevere Morgan Cornubia, that's another name element, Guinevere Morwin, and Guinevere Nocturnal.
Those are all clear.
Yeah.
All right. So number 12 we'll send up.
Yeah, because there's an addition of a syllable on that second name.
All right. Moving on to 13. Hectilda McRae.
Okay.
That is an
The length
interesting-
for Hex Tilda doesn't work. It may be because names is spelled NAMS.
You might want to fix that.
It does bring it up if you
Fix
spell it properly.
All right.
Got it. Me too.
What excellent
If that's
thought.
my only typo in this letter, I'll be happy.
God bless you,
This
or
is a flippin' huge letter.
It certainly is.
We're halfway there.
And this isn't even your Gulf Wars letter.
which it's
I
going to
think
be
I
very
actually
strange.
have more items on this letter than we had at Harold's Point at Gulf Wars.
But you got to think about
Yeah.
this. You got to add in whatever you get in April as well.
Actually, I haven't gotten that many so far this month.
Hextilda. Okay, McCrae's fine.
Last year's
Tilda
Gulf,
seems fine.
Even with the X.
last year's Gulf Wars, I had as many.
I did a sound X search. So
I had-
it found Cantona Castle Burns. I'm like, really?
But I had as many submissions come in for the month as I brought home from Gulf Wars. So the Gulf Wars letter ended up being on 2 letters last year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the other thing that's going to help keep next month's letter down is
There's
that
no payments.
I didn't get any payments because, well, we kind of got
Gulf Wars.
stormed out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have
Remember the words you're not allowed to say.
payment.
So yeah, and or
Remember,
we'll talk more about that tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, so the name seems to be fine. Just save for the fact that the link was wrong. Now, I'm not used to seeing for the device. I am not used to seeing Argent actually being displayed as silver. But Argent is supposed to be silver, so.
I mean-
It's not really the way we're supposed to color the forms. However, the color check version is rendering it as white, so we're probably okay. Except the hand is not coming through well.
No. The
Yeah, that
hand and the face is not coming through well at all. It looks like a bloody mess.
No, it looks like color on color is what it looks
Well,
like.
but Caucasian is Argent, no matter how they color it. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
No,
basically my question.
Yes, but they're still supposed to color the form correctly, and the color check version is telling us they didn't.
that's because Caucasian is in a weird color space. I don't think it's actually an issue.
Asians are just
Is the gray definitely not an issue? I only asked for future reference because
They really
I
should be
It's
doing
not.
gray
It's not the desirable, but it is acceptable. But it's
They
just not
really
the
should have
desirable.
done all white.
also, is this in what was it, inkjet or laserjet or however it needs to be? Because the image is very it's not marker colored.
No.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
this is definitely done on a computer. And was this a late? Well, seeing the scan, it looks like it was LaserJet to me because usually inkjet leaves
Dots.
little lines and dots.
Yeah.
This was actually a PDF digital.
Oh, okay. So
This was one of them that we had as a
Wasn't
console
printed out
at
by-
Collegium Volcani. And I don't know if that was one of them that Guntram was
This is
doodling up.
So you never.
This is one of the ones that Wu was working on.
Yeah, I did the digital. That's right. Yeah.
So you never actually received a hard copy of this. You just had the digital, correct, Ulrich?
Correct.
Yeah, I just I sent the digital to the client, and I think they're Herald.
Okay. Well,
I think we started the form and I sent the form forward to them.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
We
if
had
we've got
quite a
the
few that
digital,
we did that.
if we've got the digital, then recoloring it the body to argent before sending it up to Laurel would be cake.
Actually, it's interesting. They're emblazoned, which has all these funky colors on it. Does not blanch their blazoned, which clearly blazons as argent and not proper. I mean, all this funky coloration and stuff could only be done with proper as the blazon.
Light gray is argent.
No, it's not. I'm sorry. And you cannot have lots of different colorations of argent.
It's artistic license.
But we're not really allowed artistic license on the forms.
Because we cannot replicate silver or gold using a computer or markers. They allow white and yellow as replacements.
Well, that's fine. But the thing is, what's going on with this harpy is it's not argent, it's proper.
There is no proper. Gray is argent.
Look, wait a second. This harpy has got black hair, among other things. Take a look at the picture.
No, it's gray hair.
It's gray hair.
You think it's gray hair?
Yeah. It matches the gray in the wings.
I mean,
and the feet.
It's dark gray, but it's gray.
In any case, you don't have multiple shades of argent when you blazon things as argent. When you do multiple shades as
my
proper.
device, I do.
Well, you shouldn't.
Why? Gray is silver and white are identical heraldically.
They're identical. If you want them to be identical heraldically, then they should be in blazons identically.
They are.
Since we recognize silver as argent and we recognize white as argent, we will go ahead and send it up and see what Laurel thinks, and we'll end the discussion there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think you're wrong.
Duly noted.
Not your call.
So going on, we have number with the name being right and the color being above pay grade, we'll move on to 14.
Number 14. Human.
Yes, human owl.
Garnethia.
Where do these names come from?
It is. That is
Arabic.
From the city of Granada in Spain, because that's my alternate persona. Do you not see the Granadas in the chief? Yeah.
I speak English.
This is my cousin.
King's English.
And it's been specified.
In Southern North America.
The odd at the end. It would be E. It would be E at the end if it was masculine. It's because it's been feminine.
It would be an I if it was masculine.
Yeah. Yes, which is pronounced E. But in any case,
we have we had no comments on this one.
It looks okay.
Let me look.
For the record, this was my favorite submission on this letter.
I don't think anybody else has grabbed human at this point.
Okay, let me.
Well, it has an accent mark, so is it actually pronounced human?
It should be humane.
Humane.
Yes, it should be pronounced humane, but people are going to say human. You know that.
Yeah.
Okay, give me a second. Let me.
There's only one other registration of that last name, of that surname, but it doesn't have the H on the end.
That would be mine. I'm guessing.
There you go. Yes, it is, actually. And it does not conflict because there's
Ishuna does not conflict.
Name elements, too.
Yep.
That's usually the easiest thing. So
we have no conflicts for the name.
I'm
looking at the constructed. Yeah, the constructed bit is where I'm at because of that H.
Well, that's fine. I just need to double check if they use the same transliteration between the two.
Yeah, they are supposed to use the same transliteration.
and if Garnetia should have accents because they used them in the
Inhumane.
in the given. Give me a second.
Looks like it's a Juliana article.
Yep, that's what
it
I'm looking
originally
at.
came from.
Give me.
I'm
As long
just-
as.
Most people here are not
Okay,
names.
class,
So.
quiet or no cookies.
Well, since I seem to be the Arab expert at the
Fixing
moment,
the accents is completely allowable. That's a minor spelling change.
but they have to be consistent.
They have to be consistent.
That's what I'm checking. Give me a second. Okay, I have to.
The easiest thing to do would be get rid of the accent on the A.
Come on.
Are we talking about the given name here?
Yes, I'm double checking that.
It's in the documentation as it's spelled on the form.
Yeah, but
You have to scroll down to.
We have to check the transliteration that was used from.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
they're using different sources, we have to make sure that they're using the same transliteration setup.
Again, the easiest thing to do would just simply get rid of the accent mark.
Well,
Because-
that's not an issue. First, we have to figure out the transliteration if they're the same.
Okay.
Okay, good idea.
Really, Bartleby, you're gonna do that to me?
Because I think we have to remove the H. I think we have to spell it like it is on my name.
Which is also how it is in the actual documentation link. Too.
Right. So yes,
that's easy.
we need to remove the final. It needs to be spelled like my alternate name because I pulled my alternate name spelling from the documentation that they're using for the given name.
Let's see. The letter that they're using from St. Gabriel was written in 2002. Juliana's was 2001. Okay.
But that's
I was
fine.
checking their sources. That's all.
You need to drop the final H.
But they still in no way conflict with you.
Correct.
No conflict. There's
actually here. Look up my. You can look up my alternate name and pull up. Let me copy and paste my own documentation.
There's additional name elements.
Well, they're clear on their initial name anyway, so you really don't need to worry about the conflict with the law.
It's not conflict. It's spelling correction.
No, somebody else was saying that they're worried about it for conflict.
Well, they mentioned it as a potential, but let me copy and paste the proper documentation for Algonetia.
Okay. And so the H at the end of the locative goes away.
Needs to go away.
That's easy enough to fix.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I'm pulling up the documentation for it.
Yeah, and then I can use it.
Yep.
And then make sure you make the note for number 15 for the name change.
Yeah.
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 I just looked.
Okay. That should.
A pomegranate skewered by a scimitar. Oh well. Anyway, that's that. We haven't.
Yeah, not yet. I was mentioning it for the name because it's the same
But
person.
I would mention when you write it in that the H was dropped to normalize the transliteration between the two elements.
To normalize
transliteration between the two name elements.
Okay.
and you put in.
How did I become an Arab expert? It kind of just happened.
Okay, I threw that link into my notes. Thank you very much.
You are very welcome.
All right, so moving on to their device.
There's the link. Oh, there's a big link off here.
Let me double check what a pomegranate proper is.
Is
Are you
that
checking?
URL?
Are you checking Beatrice's updated list?
I wasn't able to find any conflict with the device. I did get a couple really close. Azure, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, where is her updated? Is that in the article section?
Nope. I don't think it's got published yet.
Are we doing Submergs or not?
Yes.
There are 11 of them.
Oh, really? Okay.
We just registered one in 2015.
Okay, this is a new beast for me. I have never heard or seen this beast.
I've registered one, and I had a friend way back in 2003 register one.
Is this a type of dragon?
No, it is a variation on a peacock.
Yes, it is, but it's not inverted.
Speaking of which, so the closest I could find was Azure, a peacock, and on a chief wavy argent, 3 pomegranates slipped in leaves ghouls. So I think because in this one the peacock is argent and the chief is wavy, that clears it.
Whoa! What? Okay.
Sorry. Okay. So
put the link, please, in the chat.
Sure.
Okay.
I got my complex here. Copy. Chat. There we go.
I asked you a peacock and a chief wavy argent, 3 pomegranates slipped and leave ghouls.
That's a conflict.
Yep, it is.
Does not get 1 DC for the primary color change, and then 1 DC for the chief being wavy instead of flat.
Oh yeah, you do
Oh wait.
I think that's 2 DC, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's real close, though.
Oh, and they're maintaining the scimitar. That's a third.
Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, there's no. Oh, they are. Yeah, this person is.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
personally, I wouldn't register it because that is way too damn close for my taste. But it's legal.
And maybe an artist notes to make the scimitar a bit larger.
The scimitar.
Okay. Oh, it's not proper. Because a pomegranate proper is green seeded red.
Huh. Okay.
Interesting. So,
well, that definitely clears that conflict then.
So it would be a pomegranate ghouls slipped in leaf.
There, too.
I still haven't tried Burton now.
So that helps out even more.
On that particular.
Yes, because that changes half the color of the charge.
Yeah, I don't see anything else that's got. I don't see anything else that's got the vert pomegranate, so good.
I think the scimitar is kind of really almost invisible. But
it's identifiable on my screen, even at about a half-inch long. Not even.
Well, on my screen, on the line art, I can see it. On the colored version, well, it really kind of disappears.
It looks like a feather to me.
Yes, it does.
I guess from this distance, it looks like a feather. I think it should be bigger, like much bigger.
For my taste, I would like it a little bit bigger. I could tell he's maintaining something.
Do we need to add that it's a scimitar argent because it is a white scimitar?
Yes, it's a blazonable difference.
Well, is that not covered with the...
Covered by the chief argent.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, I guess covered by the chief argent. You're correct.
Yeah, but if he wants that scimitar blazoned, it really needs to be much bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
I'm not. I think that there's microscopic charges really should not be there. But anyway.
I mean, I just don't see any way that passes any kind of like 20-foot rule or whatever.
10.
10 foot.
Yeah, 10 foot it would disappear.
I call
That old
artist,
saying, I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. Just remember that carries over.
I would call an artist note.
That's that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send it up with an artist note.
That's fine. That's a cool monster.
Yeah, I remember we're supposed to be on a horse galloping at 40 miles an hour, looking through a slit in a helmet. At least.
No.
All right.
At that speed, you wouldn't see any devices. It'd be blurs.
Moving on to their badge.
Okay, their scimitar, their badge is much more recognizable.
Yeah. Now they have the pomegranate listed as ghouls,
Which it is.
but is that little bit of green?
No.
No, it's not enough.
Not enough. It's
Okay.
not a stem. It's not a leaf.
It's just something unripe. So, all right. Again, we got we got one, and it looks like it was clear.
Pierced. Don't like that term. Not sure.
Also, the orientation of the scimitar should actually be blazoned.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree.
I concur.
Guess wise?
That'd be what wise, right?
That's wise.
Yep.
This points to Dexter.
But you don't need to say the point to Dexter because that's the default. So when
No, I
you
was-
have a
right.
test
I was
line.
just-
We're saying that's why we don't need to say Festwise Sinister, because the business end is towards Dexter.
Yeah. All right.
It's a cool little badge, though. I like
Yeah.
it.
For some reason, enfiled is hitting my head, but I'm not sure.
Oh, maybe that's a better way of blazoning it.
Well,
Is Pierce something we can do now?
What about Impaled?
Impaled.
Don't you?
a pomegranate impaled on a.
That's why.
I like that.
Alexander, I am aware of the connotations.
Yes, I know. I'm just thinking you're trying to be so good. It's like not subtle.
Okay,
people.
just because of that, I think it needs to be reblazoned as impaled on a.
But wouldn't impaled be more of a
Upright.
wise? Because it's in.
Well, I think it's amusing to impale on something that's on something that's fest-wise. I mean, just because of the difference.
This is more infest than it is impaled.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, that was not the way my brain was going. Okay, that's a much better connotation than my brain was going.
Do we tell any of them that they're doing it wrong?
Say that again. You.
That's not the way it's handled. There's an error in the biology there.
Thank you. That's where I was going.
All right. Well,
Oh, let's see, impaled. No, people have not been using impaled at all recently. The last time somebody blazed something was impaled was in 2002.
Sorry, so I missed it. Why can't we just use Pierce?
Let's see, pierced.
Why can't we do what?
Well,
Pierced.
but then again, this
Yeah,
is
well,
one.
what-
Then again, they'll change it to what they want it.
Yeah. They'll change
let's,
it. So.
we'll leave it as is, but we'll add that the scimitar is fest-wise.
Yes, it is fest-wise.
Yeah,
That part is necessary.
Also, just to note, they may change the type of sword because people have gotten picky on that lately.
Oh, really?
Well, that is a scimitar.
Well, there's also another
There's
one
a
that's
scimitar.
a shofar or something like that.
That's a horn.
Okay, there was another one that went through with one of mine that we
They,
were getting snippy about. But it'll look the same.
All right, so Isabetta di San Marco.
Oh.
This is not new. This is not new. I had made a note that it showed up back in June of 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is an Instaboing.
Yeah, the vert.
Yeah, it is.
On the table.
Because it was pinned. It was pinned by Kingdom. So, and the previous pinning did not get back with me.
Was placed in the bowl 2 years ago? Oh my word.
Almost 2 years ago.
Yeah.
This poor person waiting for their device.
You know, you have a tracking system that allows you to follow up, to put notes in there while they get pended, so you go back at when the office changes.
There was no notes added.
Yes, wouldn't it be brilliant if somebody had done that? That's one of the reasons we have the tracking system.
Yes.
Okay, the mullets should be bigger, and the ferret has to go away.
And the what?
The ferret has to go away.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a boing.
All right, so we'll go ahead and make it a returned. Let it die.
Now on the form, it had 2 different blazons. The first one was what you see, and the second one was with the Vert Fendlit's Fimbriated Argent.
Which you can't do.
Oh.
Which you can't.
So, but yeah.
Well, they're not ordinaries. I'm not. And now they're interlaced.
Well,
I'm not sure
they're not visually fibreated anyway, so that is an incorrect blazon. It does not describe the end blazon. If they actually were fimbriated argent, then they might have half a chance. But they're obviously not.
But we definitely, was agreeing we have a color on color violation.
Yep.
Correct.
That was easy.
Okay.
All right, so that one can finally be laid to rest.
Die. You can die.
Instead of lingering in pending limbo. If I remember correctly, on the original submission, there were even little bits of vert in the mullets.
Oh dear. Anyway, they should be devised to make their mullets bigger so they're easier to recognize, and as well as about the ferret going away. Let's see.
Because fretting them like that does not excuse them from having a. All right, so moving on to number 17, Jack Marvel. They found a conflict, but then they realized, wait, he's conflicting with himself, and we're good to go.
And that's very Jack Marvel.
So.
Yeah.
Do we have anything else that we might think of?
No, he's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
People can always conflict with themselves. It's perfectly allowable.
All right, moving on to...
Actually, we could probably do this because I think the guy who found the conflict could go and get a letter of permission.
Osric
Osric the Brood.
Osric!
He's definitely not an artichoke badge.
Thank you.
Now, Kalen, you have to go and tell Osric that he's up from period practice because hops aren't period.
Why are hops period?
It's a joke. It's a joke with Osric. We tell him
I'm pretty sure aren't hops period. Aren't hops period?
Hops are perfectly period.
That's why I
just
thought.
tell him that to upset him.
Yeah. His previous submission was just a hop cone, and it got bounced because it looked too much like an artichoke, and he does not like that.
Well, it still kind of looks like a pine cone, and still kind of looks like an artichoke.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely conflicts with an artichoke. Like I looked up after I heard about it, I looked up real pictures of hops and artichokes, and they pretty much look the same from a distance.
Mm-hmm.
So it's totally
Osric
legit.
disagree with you very
Oh,
vehemently.
he vehemently.
But we have no comments on this one as well. So
Well, I'm pretty sure it's clear, but I was biased on this one.
Oh, it's okay. Okay.
all right, so
Yeah, I remember coloring the last one that he put in because that was at Gulf Wars. I was like, this looks like a pine cone. This looks like this. This looks like that. Oh, this is going to be fun. Oh, this is Meridies. Oh, this is going to be fun.
Yeah, it was a shame because I mean, if he had had any other color but ore, it would have passed. But someone else had registered an artichoke ore.
all right. So
Okay, Dick is next.
Richard Carnes is next.
Okay.
And this is kind of once I have heralded Richard Carnes in many a times into the field, and just seeing his name pop up now is like, what? So
Shall I mention a few nights? No? Okay.
Did anybody conflict check the name just to make sure it's not grabbed?
I'll work on that.
And I would not worry about the actor on Home Improvement. He's not registered. We don't worry about that sort of thing these days.
Unless it was plaid. The device looks like it's mixed media. The middle image.
Oops. And, I closed out the ONA. How awesome. This thing gets so fast. Robert Carmichael and Robert Cornelius McGregor. We're clear.
all right, so we're clear on the name. Now,
Okay.
with the device.
Yeah, I think Karen's right. I think the device is clear of that. I'm worried about the force.
It's not being recognized as yellow at all.
It is an off color. I will give it that, but it's.
I mean, come on, it's orange, and it's being recognized as nothing at all by in the color correcting version.
But could that be because of the red mixing in with
No,
the?
it's not. It's not from the field. You go look at the black. It's having the same problem when it's against the black field.
Okay, what?
She's saying it's not. She's saying it's not ore.
Current decision by Reef is as long as ore shows up anywhere, as long as the color it's supposed to be shows up anywhere within the color corrected version, it's good.
Though. It doesn't though. Look at the color corrected version. There's no.
Yeah, there's
no
ore.
Now I'm seeing spots.
Yeah.
I'm not even seeing spots. I'm seeing spots of orange on the right-hand side.
Well, I've seen worse colors go through, so I call that good.
I have no problem with it right now.
Yeah.
So I was actually trying to understand what you two were talking about, Kaylin.
Oh,
so
yes. So I misread the potential conflict, and I thought that the Phoenix was Argent, in which case I figured that the Phoenix had to have been forced into the vertex per chevron in that other person's thing, and since it was forced, it would not have given a DC. But since the Phoenix is ore, I think Karen is right, and it's not a problem. So it's not forced, so you get the TC.
Okay. Thank you. All right.
But
So
it's a gorgeous device when you get right down to
Oh
it.
yeah, it's very nice.
and he's used it for a while. So
Simple
all right, so
heraldry.
we'll send it up and we'll see what Reese thinks, or Pelican, since that's a device. Stella di Silvestri.
Actually, it's Wreath because it's a device, but okay.
Yeah. Stella di Silvestri.
Oh, Italiano, I guess.
Who made the name comment? Because it's not showing up on my screen.
Yeah, it's not either on mine.
Just random person.
Random anonymous commenter.
Oscar's becoming intelligent and self-aware.
It's the ghost commenter.
It's the Stealth Herald.
They're saying their docs check out, and it's a nice name. So,
I think Oscar's becoming self-aware.
Yeah,
who would have thought
about
that? Who would have thought that Skynet would have came from the SCA?
But it's from with program, yeah. Conflict looks okay.
Okay, conflict looks okay.
Um,
I'm kind of agreeing with Tarrant. We definitely have a sword and dagger problem
I would
here.
like to send it up because I would like to have sword and dagger be restricted much more than it currently is. The thing is, and this has to do with Japanese heraldry. In Japanese heraldry, we have basically roundels surrounded in annulo by roundels.
Then
Okay.
I would recommend creating a specific test case
I
with
think
the
that's actually
Japanese
going up.
documentation.
I think that's actually going up some months ago, actually.
Yeah, because if you send this up and they get bounced, it's just this person's gonna have to wait like 6 months or whatever, and it'll get bounced for sword and dagger.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And just making sure, because the nice color version that they submitted does not match the line art exactly. Is that still okay? The rendering of the stars.
It's a hand drawing issue, not a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, hand drawn versus computer. Yeah. Just making sure.
But I would also recommend moving the chevron up because it does not bisect the
The fest line.
Oh yeah, that's definitely
Yes,
for
it's supposed to straddle the fest line.
And since we are returning this, since we are returning this and everything, also mentioned, even though the color correction is seeing as blue, try to use a truer blue.
Right. I really think this is a nice design, even for European armory, and I really think somebody should challenge the sword and dagger rule for this particular kind of design.
I would not send it up without okaying being a test case with the client.
Oh, of course.
And if you're going to try to do this as a test case, you're going to need to send it up more with more than just the block.
Yeah.
You have to come up with documentation around it to say this is a motif that would have been found in period European heraldry.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because obviously this is not a Japanese motif. So without that, it's
really easy to do with the Japanese motif. I really don't think. I think we stretch things much more in other ways on European heraldry.
Then that sounds like something you should work on and get sent up.
Okay, all right, slain. You've just slain me. Okay, I'm busy doing something else at the moment.
All right, so we'll be returning.
I actually am. I'm being devoured by another project. I'm playing hooky at the moment, just talking to you guys.
We appreciate it.
So we'll send up the name and return the device.
Okay. And in any case, they do definitely have a problem with their chevron.
Yeah.
And ask them if they want to be a test case or not. But anyway.
All right. Moving on to 21.
Thorleaf.
Hmm?
Thorleaf. Name of the
Thorleaf. Yes. That nice Norse
Right.
name.
So, Igerson? Igerson?
Lagerson.
Mm-hmm.
The name found in Garibaldi.
Garibaldi.
Bossy. My mind said Bossy, but my tongue said Basie.
That's fine. That's Count Basie. A different guy. Okay, he needs some documentation for his. Okay, Thor. Okay, was found in Garibaldi. Oh, look, okay, he does have it. Although they should have copied the documentation out of the Viking Answer Lady instead of simply posting the link to the general info section.
That's a standard error when people forget their summaries.
Yeah.
But we are nice heralds and read.
Okay, I got booted, so
Oh, let's go get his documentation for him. Totally wiped out.
Yeah, there needs to be a little bit more meat besides just the link.
Okay, didn't open a separate window for me. Darn, I have to go back. Okay, anyway. Okay.
I don't know why it does that to me. It tells me that my computer has gone to sleep, and I'm like, no, it hasn't. I'm staring at the screen.
And I've been typing on it.
Things like that happen. They want to take control, Okay. Thorleaf, they actually, they should have cited both of them. And they do have.
Here is the documentation for the
Thorleaf.
the given name part of the surname.
Or if you already posted it.
Hey, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, you just cut out the entry from for Garibaldi that you found there. You write it to the documentation. Over.
And that's from Viking Answer Lady?
Yeah, don't cite Viking Answer Lady. Cite her citation of Garibaldi.
That's what I'm saying. What she just posted, was that from Viking Answer Lady or Bossy?
Here, it was from Viking Answer Lady. I'll put the link to the page too. If it'll let me.
Right. Although what I would do actually is just cite the Viking Answer Lady's actual citation from her webpage.
It's nice to do both because not everybody has access to
Garibaldi. But you do want to. Okay, but I'm not sure that the Viking Answer Lady has made it onto the no photocopy list yet. But okay. But Garibaldi is.
You by citing both, you sidestep that issue.
I'm citing both. I'm not going to criticize that.
Yeah.
Yeah, by having the link, it becomes a website and not a book or anything.
Sorry I couldn't stay, you guys. I've been trying to listen in, but
That's fine.
Good night.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Oh, the next couple of days.
Work.
Okay. Another trick is you need to be sure that the name is conjugated for the patronymic is conjugated, reflected correctly into the genitive. Oh.
I'm getting to. I haven't pulled that one yet. Give me a second.
I'm thinking that was it ending in an R? It should be.
There's an R double R. It turns into ARs. I mean, it's tricky. If it's Jaeger.
It is correct because based off of the. Let me. Yeah, because it is.
Does not get a double S then?
Well, no, it's I. Let's see.
It could get a double S.
Let me look. It is IRR, so it ends in double R. Here is the format. It should be in.
Double R's usually turn into RSs, which would would make a JARGEIRR. Sorry, EIRSSON.
No, it would just be, so that's the line from this page that gives the how to do patronymics.
Going
And so
by, yeah. Are
it
you
would just
getting
be single RSON.
Okay.
just one S?
Wait a second.
Based on the Gearson.
If it's an RR.
Yeah, you drop one R.
Drop an R, add an
And
SON.
you change the R to an S. If you look at the table.
There's one registration of Gear's daughter with
See,
one
it's
S.
right in the middle.
Everyone
So
else
if
has
the ends in
two.
RR, the ending will change to RS, and then you put either son or daughter. Okay, wait, that's
Two S's.
That's a misprint on her page.
Yep, the table is incorrect.
Two
Okay,
S's.
so we need to add a second S.
Yep.
Boom.
What she did is she got the example for the daughter for the woman and the man backwards. It should be GEIRSDOTTIR for the daughter, and it should be GEIRSSON for the son.
Because it changes to Gears.
Right.
And then son or daughter after that.
Precisely. Basically, our two samples are backwards.
Reese, get down.
All right, so we'll add the second S because that is doable.
Yep, it's a minor change.
Okay, so we're looking at the device now, which is vert, a cup within a two-headed snake embowed in base ore. Or embowed in
Needs
base
to be
ore.
a snake headed at both ends.
Yes.
Because a two-headed snake has a snake's head right next to each other.
It's split into two necks, and yeah, like two-headed dogs and stuff like that.
All right, so vert a cut within a
snake
with a snake with two heads.
Mm-hmm.
Really. Or probably a snake of two heads.
Now, with it being all wavy like it is, does it still look embowed to y'all?
No. It probably needs to be called, it has to be wavy. You have to stick wavy in there also.
I think that's minor artistic.
I think it's a blazonable difference. I don't know whether it'll make it go boinga or not.
And it's also knotted.
Yes, it's knotted. And knotted has to be mentioned.
Get down!
Yes, ma'am. All right.
And that, I believe, is even a blazonable knot.
Reese! Get down!
Does anybody remember which
Yeah,
knot this
you
one's
need water.
called?
Yeah, it looks like a pretzel knot.
Yeah, I know it's a pretzel knot, but I believe it is a blazonable knot.
Yeah, I think you're right, because it looks like Antonio's chains in his old device.
And it has I wonder if Miss Tom is back up again.
Yes, it
I
is.
believe it is.
Well, if you go look at knots, this knot's probably there.
Stafford knot.
Can an animal of, one being be knotted?
Yes.
Yep.
You can knot their tails. You can do all kinds of things with knots. It makes
Here's
for
your
a
link for the
hugely long
Stafford knot.
blazon, but we're stuck with it. Oh. SCA. Heraldry.
Yeah, that's definitely a Stafford knot. Okay, so
Or would it just be nowed?
Now it just means knotted. But this is a blazon mold knot.
Yeah. Being that it's two-headed, does it conflict with one snake or two snakes? I'm not really sure how to conflict check it.
Check it both ways.
Okay. Let me see here.
Because visually it will conflict with with two snakes, I think.
Are these co-primary?
There will be an argument about that.
Okay. Cup.
It's not quite an oral. If it was an oral, it would be definitely a secondary. But it's sort of intruding. It basically the knot at the bottom and stuff like that kind of elevates it a bit.
I'm trying to think how to vert a cup within a snake with two heads. Stafford
Nowed
knotted.
in a Stafford knot. I don't know. This is why I'm not an armory person. I'm just like throwing names out there.
Okay. Alrighty. SAA heraldry.
What are we currently working on? Sorry, I had to
Still the knotted snake.
Okay.
Trying to figure out how to word it exactly.
The closest I can find, assuming it conflicts with one snake, is vert entwined about a chalice or a serpent head to sinister sable. But I think that's clear.
Yeah, sounds like.
Yeah, I'll link it just for. Oh.
Yay, Miss Tom is back up. Okay, cannot.
Yeah, it's definitely a Stafford knot. I've seen it already.
Definitely a Stafford knot. Okay.
Yeah, I've seen it already. That's why I was trying to figure out how to blazon it as such.
Now or entwined in a Stafford knot, maybe?
Nowed in. Either nowed in or nowed as.
What is it? Is it N-O-W-E-D?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The second link I linked in commentary is to the Serpents page. That'll give you an idea on some of the spellings. Serpents, snakes, whatever he put them under.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, it's definitely. Yeah, because we've got a posture difference, and we've got a color difference.
Snake headed each.
And you've got, yeah, it's two-headed.
Yeah, assuming it
A snake headed at both ends.
assuming it would conflict with two snakes, I couldn't find anything that comes close.
Okay.
So I think in total it's clear.
I mean, technically it's a monster, not a snake.
So you think a snake headed at both ends would work better?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Because any
Because
other
I had that issue on a letter.
because any other descriptor would put both heads on the same end of the snake.
Right.
Yeah.
Like they have two-headed dogs. It has two necks at the same end with
Same body.
with one body.
So, Vert, a cup within a snake headed at both ends, gnawed, and a Stafford knot or.
I think it's also glistened.
Call it gluten snake.
But either way, we don't have a conflict, and they can hassle over how the blades.
How to describe it? That's Reese's job anyway.
All right, so moving on to number 22.
Okay. There's been a run on this design recently. Everybody and their uncle is doing triquetras interlaced with our and
There's always a run on this design.
Yeah, I think someone.
And this is because Candle is correct. This is a conflict. There's not significant difference between the conjoined and interlaced.
It might be worth sending up.
What's your potential conflict again?
The conflict is Eva Orchard, which is Palantir again. Apparently, everything Meridies is doing, Palantir was there 2 years ago.
Woo!
Okay, we get 1 point for the field. We can completely ignore what's going on in the field. Is there only one charge you think it's probably conflict with?
But it's a triquetra within and conjoined to an annulet argent.
Oh, that's completely different. Don't worry about it.
Well,
I disagree.
I mean, it might be worth sending up, but that's a small difference, I think.
No, that's completely different. Okay, within a conjoined two, puts the triquetra completely inside of the annulet. Okay.
Well, no, I understand the
Okay.
difference. I just think I don't know.
Either way, it's worth sending up to see what decides.
All right.
I think so.
Maybe make a note that we think there's a possible difference between interlaced and joined.
I would make a note to please consider, and then just give the name emblazoned.
But I would not have those two conflict with each other personally, because they really are radically different designs.
But it's worth having the larger.
Yeah, I know.
Especially since so then people know that there could be one, and they'll have to randomly find it again.
All right. So we'll send it up, saying that there is a possible difference between conjoined and interlaced.
It's within and conjoined versus interlaced.
Right. Okay. So
That's the end of the letter.
Yeah, that's the end of the letter. So we are done, people. We have fought this one until it died.
What's the died, ugly death?
So.
And Ian, Ulrich, if you can, check your email. I did a draw for Richard Carnes while you guys were talking.
Okay.
To especially change out the. I'm not the one who did the artwork, but it was very simple to do, so I just sent that up to you. So if he wants it, if you guys want it, it's a lot clearer, and it's definitely orange, not orange.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I think that would work best. Looking at it, um, I'll go ahead and change that out.
Okay. And send it to him. If he wants a copy of it. So.
Okay. But you did discuss it with him, and he is okay with it.
No, I just did it while we were talking. It was
okay.
That's what I'm saying. If you want to send it to him, and if he wants,
Yeah, I'll send it to him, and say, hey.
Does it sound like you do it pretty well?
Yeah, well, like I said, I've heard the name is familiar because he's been at just about every tournament that I've been to, and so.
Want to give him a best bet?
Yeah. I'm probably looking forward to seeing him at Crown List again this year. So, which is down here in the South, by the way. So, I am very happy about that. So, all right, I want to thank everyone that has stayed and watched, and I would like to thank my conspiracy of heralds here for working with me and getting this done. We will see you again the same time next month.
All right.
Before you go running off.
Huh?
I think he's signing us off.
Yeah, I'm just signing off.
Okay.
So, I want to thank everyone out there in the interwebs and everything, and we'll see you again soon.